Thanks to everyone who has joined us tonight. As many of you know, if you've been on any of our trips over the past 12 years, you know that the musicians and the artists that we come to have perform on Paddle, Florida is a big part of what we do. And during this crazy time of uncertainty, we thought we'd try something new with some of our favorite musicians. And one person who falls into that category of one of our favorite musicians is our performer tonight. Without further ado, Grant Peeples.
Hey everybody, we're going to start with a poem. I'm going to do a number of poems tonight, most of them ones I've written here recently in the envelope of quarantine. This one is called How It Is for Me Now. My nails are dirty. I have sought to calm my hands in the earth. Does a primordial belief in seeds reveal a reticent trust in a God of the universe? I wonder, would it be dishonest of me to not disclose that I have pondered if I will even live to see the fruits from these seeds that I have planted? My guitar feels like an alien in my arms. I strum the chords and I sing the words, but the birds outside sound more relevant to me. Still, I am trying, vaguely, to maintain my fingertip calluses, even though I'm presently unable to conjure a vision of what a return to playing on the road again might look like. It's only been 2 months. Meanwhile, I am bleeding from the wounds of new poems. They stalk me from when I wake, feed on the caffeine from my morning coffee, grind my spine into the chair at my kitchen table. They plow up my weaknesses and fears, and yet sometimes they water my hope. Yes, they are having their way with me, but I cauterize each with yet another, and then I move on. A worried man with a worried mind. Nothing in front of me, ain't nothing behind. Woman on my lap, she's sipping champagne. She got white skin, assassin's eyes. She's staring up into the sapphire skies. I'm a well-dressed man, I'm waiting on the last train. I'm standing on the gallows, my head in a noose. Any minute now, all hell, it could break loose. You see now, people are crazy and times are strange. I'm locked in tight, I'm out of range. I used to care, but things have changed. This town ain't doing me any good. I ought to be out there in Austin or Hollywood. For a minute there, I swear I thought I seen somebody move. I'm gonna take dancing lessons, do the jitterbug rag. I ain't afraid of nothing, I'll even dress in drag. A fool would feel he had something left here to prove. Lot of water under the bridge, lot of other stuff too. Don't you get up now, gentlemen, I'm only passing through. You see now, people are crazy and times are strange. I'm locked in tight, I'm out of range. I used to care, but well, things have changed. walking 40 miles a bad road. Well, if the Bible is right, this world will explode. I need to get as far away from myself as I can. Gonna get down low and rise up high. All the talk in the world, it's one big lie. I'm in love with a woman and she don't even appeal to me. Feel like falling in love with the very first woman I meet, and putting her in a wheelbarrow and pushing her down the street. I say now people are crazy and times are strange. I'm locked in tight, I'm out of range. I used to care, but well, everything, it's changed. You see, I hurt easy, I just don't show it. You can hurt me bad and not even know it. Well, the next 60 seconds gonna be like an eternity. I'm gonna get down low, gonna rise up high. All the talk in the world, it's one big lie. I'm in love with a woman and she don't even appeal to me. Well, Mitch McConnell, he can jump in a lake. That fella, he kind of looks like a turtle, but well, he's really a snake. You see now people are crazy and times are strange. I'm locked in tight, I'm out of range. I used to care, but everything it's changed. I used to care, but everything now it has changed. Here's one for all the John Birchers that signed on tonight. I got a little special song for the John Birch Society people. Conservative Christian, right-wing Republican, straight white American males, and gay bashing, black fearing, Trump loving, tree killing, masters of corporate sales, and Obama hating and always berating artists and folks living free. Those tree-hugging, peace-loving, pot-smoking, porn-watching, crazy-ass hippies like me. Yeah, tree-hugging, love-making, pro-choice and gay wedding, Bob Dylan digging hippies like me. We're skin color blinded, conspiracy minded protesters of corporate greed. Yeah, we who got nothing and most likely will, till we all wind up locked up in jail by conservative Christian, right-wing Republican, straight white American males. And it's diamonds and dogs and boys and girls living together in two separate worlds, following leaders of mountains of shame, all looking for someone to blame. And I know just who we should blame. Conservative Christian, right-wing Republican, straight white American males. Those soul-saving, flag-waving, fox-loving, land-paving believers in harpooning whales. Yeah, they're all writing checks and hoping to keep the free reins of democracy from tree-hugging, peace-loving, pot-smoking, barefooting folks singing hippies like me. Yes, tree hugging, peace loving, pot smoking, mask wearing, crazy ass hippies like me. All right. Well, I'm not able. I could if I wanted to. If I would stray away from the dictates of my own reason, I would look down and I would see who is here. But I don't want to do that because it will throw me off. I want this to be. I don't want to get tied up into the technical part of it. I want to concentrate on the artistic element of this. Let's see what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do another poem. This is a new poem. I wrote this on May 7th, which I believe was yesterday. And I'm going to do this poem, and then I'm going to do you a song that is off the record that I came out with 2 years ago, which was called shit, I can't remember the name of it. What was the name of that record, Donna? The one that had the fire on the front of it?
Settling Scores, Volume 2.
Settling Scores, Volume 2. Sorry. This is called Snake Handlers. Dreams have been bludgeoned. A collective exhale of dubious hope fogs our nation's sensibilities. Tides of stagnant belief and doctrine flood the halls of science and logic and reason. And yes, we can see now, we have all been swimming in it, naked. Religion is a rotten egg sizzling in the spiritual frying pan. Terrorized by the story of Christ, Americans can't keep their damned hands off the gallows. When man begins to stink, the poet said, that's when he turns to God. It is thus that grace and mercy got trumped by dogma and ritual. The cross and the flag are abused symbols that hide unseemly facts. This is the age of snake handlers and blinded followers, doing the bidding of autocrats, plutocrats, and corporate grifters. History will surely see the wheels coming off long before we did. Well, it could be a long night. It might be a while before you see the light of day again. Tell me now, are you down? Well, are you down to do this thing? How deep is your faith? How strong's your belief? 'Cause it could be a long night. I mean, this could really knock some time off your clock. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing. Well, if the melting candle of pain, you're gonna need to melt away every little thing that no longer matters, 'cause it could be a long night. I'm talking about your dignity. I'm talking about your safety. Yeah, well, these are illusions, as you will see, long before you ever see the light. Everything you ever cared about, all the things you thought you never doubt, well, all of this will be driven out. And it could be a long night. Yes, this could be a long night. Yeah, it's a mighty long night. So you better hold on tight, 'cause it could be a long night. It's a leviathan of authoritarianism that you face, my friends. There will be clouds of foreign entanglements and reams of alternative facts. Executive orders will be issued to round up the opposition. Babies will be ripped from the arms of their mothers along our nation's borders. And science will be thrown out the window like so much bad trash. This is going to take some courage to go up against this. And I'm not talking about the kind of courage that takes to, post some bullshit on Facebook. I'm talking about real courage. I'm talking about getting your ass out in the street kind of courage. So get ready. Man, this could be a long night. I'm talking about your dignity. I'm talking about your safety. Yeah, what these are illusions, as you will see, long before you ever see the light. Everything you ever cared about, all the things you thought you'd never doubt, all of this will be driven out. And it could be a long night. Yes, this could be a long night. Well, somebody long night, so you better hold on tight. It could be a long night. Oh, y'all quit it. Terribly stiff.
Awesome.
There in your mouth. Clapping. Yeah. I wanted to make sure y'all all saw that. There's unmuted people that are. Make sure y'all all see that I got my eyeshadow, my eyeliner on tonight. I put eyeliner on. When I've been on the road every now and then, if I'm playing at some place where I think there's going to be a camera, I'll put some eyeliner, but I tried to find my eyeliner and I couldn't find it. So I used a Sharpie tonight and it worked just fine. So I don't have to go spend $7 on eyeliner anymore. I just use the same damn Sharpie I use for making up a set list. So what are we going to do now? We're going to do another poem, and then I'm going to do a song off my most recent record. This is what happened to me is I released this record, and it came out at the end of January, and I had a tour all set up for February, March, April, and May, and June and July. So I ordered a bunch of these, and they're all sitting in my house right now. I have figured out a way that I am going to use I saw a thing on the interweb the other day that they make great, you can drill a hole in them, and I'm going to drill holes in them, and I'm going to hang them in my fig tree, and it will keep all the birds out of my figs. So I got plenty for that. But this is a song, I'm getting ready to do a song that's off this record, and these are all songs that were written by women friends of mine. One of the things that the pandemic has kind of darkened is the fact that this year is the 100th anniversary of women getting the right to vote in our country. And I released this record on that same year, and I went out in honor of so many of the women songwriters that I admire. I went and did all covers, and this is one by Carrie Elkin. I'm gonna do this poem first, though. This is a poem I wrote on March 19th, and it is called Love in the Time of Corona. The smokestacks have stopped puffing. The birds are singing in the cleared air. Spring is upon us, magnificent and blooming, and here we are just longing to be held. From moment to moment, there is normalcy. But then the once dormant distances that lay between us open and widen like oceans, separating our hearts and our hearts' intentions. We see now, painfully, that we have never done a thing in our lives that had meaning at all were we not holding hands with another. When the lights are out need a man to touch. I need my back to bend. I need a heavy hand. I need a book to write. I need an easy fight. I need this day gone by. I need your dog to bite. You see, I'm lonely now. I know it's hard for you. I know you know what to do, and still it's hard for you. And when the lights are out, I hear a ringing bell. I hear your sweet farewell. I hear your poet fail. I hear the birds of night. I hear our unwon fight. I hear my mind gone wild. I hear our unborn child. You see, I'm lonely now. I know it's hard for you. I know you know what to do, and still it's hard for you. And so the lights are off, and I'm in a stranger's dress. I'm in her beating chest. I'm in an empty nest. I am the bluest note. I'm on a sinking boat. I'm a girl who's been thrown. And I pick up my telephone. I'm lonely now, and I'm crying out. Yes, I'm crying out. Oh, I'm crying out. Won't you hear me? I'm crying out. Oh, listen, I'm crying out. Hear me, I'm crying out. I'm lonely now. I know it's hard for you. I know you know what to do, and still it's hard for you. But you know just what to do, and still it's hard for you. I just love singing about being in a dress. I didn't on this record. I did not change any of the pronouns. So you know, it's kind of funny. Women have been singing men's songs forever, and they don't change the pronouns. They'll, you know, they go, "Hey, baby," and "girl," and da da da. And I just figured, I had never. Only person I'd ever I heard. David Allan Coe did a song one time. He did Tammy Wynette's "Stand By Your Man," and I heard him do it without changing the pronouns. And John Prine did his own song, "I Am an Old Woman," but I just decided I was going to try to do a whole record by adhering to that, and that's what came out. That's one of the songs. Carrie Elkin. Okay, I'm going to do another song here. And then we're going to take a little break intermission thing because the Paddle Florida people have thousands of dollars that they're giving away on a little lottery that I assume y'all got the little ticket, your little number, and they're giving away $1,000. And they're going to call out that number tonight. And maybe you'll be the lucky winner. This is a song I have a feeling there's a lot of people out there that know my stuff. So you know the background on this song. I got to give you the Reader's Digest version of it. And the Reader's Digest version is that this is a song about an event that took place in Sopchoppy, Florida, a number of years ago that I witnessed. And it was they were having a parade down there. Now, I understand Sopchoppy, it was a 4th of July parade. And Sopchoppy, I kind of found this out by my own little study. Sopchoppy, after the Civil War, they had Sopchoppy became a city in 1911, and they had in their charter, they prohibited the American flag from being flown in downtown city limits. That was because they were embarrassed about having had their asses whipped by that flag, and so they just didn't want to see it, and they made their own little city, and they had that rule. But after World War II, when so many people from the county had gone over there and gone to Asia and to Europe and fought and died and gotten shot up, they decided that they were going to kind of back off of that a little bit. So they started having a little 4th of July celebration and a parade and everything. And it was going along pretty good until about 7 or 8 years ago. And the thing had kind of gotten out of hand. It had become one of those, instead of really any, a parade that really paid homage to the ideas or the principles upon which the experiment of our nation was founded. It became all about, politics and people trying to sell shit. And there were some people who saw that, and they were offended by it. They took issue with it, and they decided they were going to make a statement. Now, this was before the whole resist thing got started, but this is how you resist. This is what, to me, this is a song about if there's something out there and you don't like what you're seeing, and it's hypocrisy. You can get on Facebook. Sure, you can get on Facebook and talk bad about it, or you can get out in the street, and that's what these people did. Well, the gay and lesbian sons and daughters of the Southern Confederacy, they built a float and they entered it in our 4th of July parade. And there were ladies wearing leather and men wearing lace and others wearing pink leotards. And with a swish and a swagger they come strutting down the street, waving the stars and bars. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade. There was a fella with a flute and a tutu playing Dixie with a skinny drummer boy. And this butchy gal, she was the majorette, directing with an obscene toy. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade. Well, the float had a poster of Stonewall Jackson and another of Truman Capote. And there was Billie Jean King and Elton John, but the biggest was of Robert E. Lee. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade. Was it a finger in the eye of old Uncle Sam to wave the rebel flag on Independence Day? Or just a poke in her ribs of that long lost cause for these queers to carry on this way? Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade. Yeah, they built a float and entered it in our 4th of July parade. Do 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 do. All right. All right, Donna, why don't you unmute Bill?
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Grant.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for doing this. We're going to have about a 60-second commercial here. I don't know where you came up with
I
that.
thought you were giving away money. I told everybody you were giving away money.
Yeah, I know you said that, and I'm kind of wondering how where that came from. But I guess if we have to, we have to. No, we're trying some fundraising this summer with Paddle Florida, and we kind of copied the model from PBS, and so we have free gifts at different levels. So we're going to do this in a minute. The first one is a buff, and it looks like this, and it's got the Paddle Florida logo on it. And for a $25 donation, you get that.
Wow.
And then for a $50 donation, Janice is showing this. This is a dry bag with the Paddle Florida logo on it. It's blue camo, super cool. For a $75 donation, there is this really groovy dry fit shirt. It's one of those quick dry, long sleeve white shirt. Again, super cool. And then the last level that we have are these fracture prints. Both pictures taken by Matt Keene, who's our photojournalist and has helped us do a lot. One is a drone shot and the Keys. I think that's Sombrero Beach from one of our trips, and the other is it's an egret against some a heron. Sorry, Janice is a marine biologist. So you get both of those at that level for $100. So, well, we have never tried to, ask people for money before, and so we're a little uncomfortable doing that. But a lot of people have been very nice and contributed to our nonprofit, and I hope you or your friends will consider doing the same. And that's the 1-minute commercial, Grant.
All right. Well, that sounds like, now this buff thing, I remember now you wear one. You've worn those before. You wore those pre-pandemic, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. It's a common paddling item.
Yeah.
A lot of times when in the Keys or elsewhere, you'll have your hat, you'll have your sunglasses, and the rest of your face is covered by a buff like this.
Wow.
So
I guess, is that what you've been wearing when you go out to go shopping at Publix and everything? You wear your buff as opposed to, yeah.
I do.
Well, that looks really good. And let me just tell you about this thing about asking people for money. I feel like I do that a lot. But here's the deal. Like when all this got started and when this whole pandemic thing got started, and I was doing this, one of these shows I'm doing a thing called Clay Tablets. I'll go and make my little pitch now. It's a once a month show that I'm doing now. It's not a music show exactly. I play a couple songs, but it's called Clay Tablets, and Clay Tablets are the earliest histories we have, the earliest voices we have of humanity, in which they were actually these are writing, these are actually stories, and these are things that people wrote down in Sumeria 5,000 years ago, and they talked about the things that they believed in and what they worshiped in their families and what their values were. And so I'm doing this thing called Clay Tablets now, and the idea is to use that as kind of a metaphor maybe, or as a template, because I feel like artists today we're putting down stuff right now not just artists, but anybody who is recording anything, every diarist, every painter, every photographer who is cataloging this, who is archiving this year, this 2020. I really feel, one day the people are going to come back and pay a lot of attention to what we either did or what we didn't do, and what we said or what we didn't say during this time, and what we made important during this time, and all of that will be a part of the record. And so this thing, Clay Tablets, I do interviews with other artists. May 19th, I'm doing one with my friend Steve Poltz. I did Roy Zimmerman last month. We have mailbag. People write in letters. I show videos from my past. I show pictures from my past, and all kinds of poetry and stories and things like that. And I hope you'll tune in on May 19th. So anyhow, thing about asking for money. So I started doing this thing so I could survive this. And I told Donna, I said, I just feel really bad asking people, like, hey, y'all need to support this. And Donna said, look, damn it, you've been driving all around this country for the last 15 years. And now all that driving you did, these people that you met while you were out there, that's who is supporting you now. And so I feel like with Paddle Florida, y'all been paddling up and down all these damn rivers and showing all these people a good time. And now, don't feel bad about asking them for a little help. This is a song I'm going to do for Michelle. But before I think she might be out there. I don't know. I can't see. I met Michelle on a Paddle Florida trip. And I played the song I'm getting ready to play. And it connected with her, and she and I have become internet friends. And I don't remember, I guess it's been almost a year now that we met on the Swanee River. And it's a song that I wrote I wrote it for my ex-wife, and it's in her voice, and it's her singing to me about the time when I was in the throes of addiction. And it's called I Am Empty Now. But first I'm going to read this little poem from my poetry book, and it's called Better Than My Heart. It is difficult to shoot the rapids once you flip your boat in the backwash of Buddhist rationalism, and all the conversations in your head begin to steer invariably toward the question, what is it, man, that is really real here? Perhaps if Romeo had had a morning meditation practice, he would have lived to the ripe old age of 44 rather than succumbing so early on to the call of poison. Just how much nurturing, he might have wondered, does one cosmically misaligned fellow actually need? Or in other words, how much nurturing can he stand before his knees begin to buckle and he runs back to dope and the bottle again? Romantic love is not a mystery. No, it is a plague in the fields of awakenment, where the plows grind against the cold, hard comforts of theory. But still, one cannot help but wonder, who am I to think I know better than my own heart? If you could find a love like the one you dream of, would it really be enough to keep you happy? I see no end in sight, and there's no blinding light to light your troubled path. If you need help, I hope you won't ask. For I am empty now. If you could find a place, one that give you peace, would you even crawl that way? Or just stay in your storm? I see no end in sight, there's no blinding light to light your troubled path. If you need help, please don't ask. For for I am empty now. And every truth you try to latch on to, it takes you down, won't see you through. The dust that you kicked up, well, I would live if I still knew how, but well, I am empty now. I see no end in sight. There's no blinding light to light your troubled path. If you need help, don't ask. For I am empty now. Yes, I'm all bled out. And I am empty now. All right. We're going to try something now that we have never tried. We've done a few of these little eye shows, and we're going to try something that's kind of like a sing-along. It's going to be a real train wreck, but y'all might know about this song, Summer Camp, that I wrote for the St. Joe Company when they had this development down there in Franklin County. They started it down there on the coastline, and then they got behind the kind of the whole 8-ball in 2006 and 7 when the economy started tanking, and they couldn't sell any of their lots. And so they asked me if I would help them with selling some of these lots where they could build these houses down there. And the little development, I say little, 600 and something acres, was called Summer Camp. And so I wrote a little song called Summer Camp, a little jingle for them. We got paid $275. I'm going to teach y'all the part. It's going to go, I'm going to go, come on down to summer camp. And then I'm going to go like this. And when I do that, y'all are going to go, and you have to be really pitchy to where your neighbors are kind of concerned about what's going on in your house. You're going to go, summer camp, like that. Okay, so let's rehearse it. You ready? Come on down to summer camp.
It said you.
Let's put some new
That's
strings on it.
okay, that's going to be good. Come on down to summer camp. You're going to go, summer camp. And you bite it off right there. Oh, man, y'all have no idea how good that sounded in my headphones. Well, developments come and developments go, and it's hard to tell the good ones from the bad ones, you know. But you can trust your friends here at Old St. Joe. Come join us down at summer camp. It's all laid out on a low wetland. Lots of pygmy rattlers and moccasins. There were some old black bears, but hell, we shot all them, 'cause we aim to please at summer camp. We'll build you a house, fast and cheap, on a lot with a ditch where there used to be a creek. Think all the new rich Yankees you gon' get to meet. Your friendly new neighbors at summer camp. Summer camp, oh summer camp. A paid political development brought to you by your governor and his lobbyists. Come on down to summer camp.
Apple.
Summer camp.
There's dog flies and no-see-ums, red bugs, ticks, and mosquitoes. We got so many yellow flies we can hardly feed them. It's one big blood fest at summer camp. The seawater's shallow, it's brown and yucky. There's plenty of oyster shells here to cut you. And if you like sand spurs, man, we can fill up your bucket. Just bring it on down to summer camp. So come on now, seize the day. You never know when a hurricane's gonna blow it all away. Be the first to have your kid step on a stingray. We're one with nature at summer camp. Summer camp, oh summer camp. A paid political development brought to you by your governor and his lobbyists. Come on down to summer camp.
Summer camp. Who's better?
Well, writing a check, it's not that much trouble. You ought to do it now and do it on the double. Don't listen to any crap about some real estate bubble. Come sign on the line at summer camp, where the sky is gray and the muck is black. There's a seaweed beach and bull shark attacks. If you love the feel of sand in your crack, bring your ass down to summer camp. Summer camp, oh summer camp. A paid political development brought to you by your governor and his lobbyists. Come on down to summer camp.
Summer camp.
Oh man, that sounded so good. Oh. Sports. All right, we got a couple more we're going to do. Let me see here. This is I wrote this song on the side of the road on Alligator Alley, which is, if you're familiar with Florida, which I think all you paddlers are, of course, y'all have paddled out there. Alligator Alley runs east to west from the Naples area over to the Fort Lauderdale area. And I was going across there. This is in like 1990, and I had just gone through this, 91. I had just gone through this kind of thing, you know, a relationship thing. And I was going across Alligator Alley, and I was driving along, and I had tuned in the AM radio to this radio station out of Havana, Cuba. And I was listening to these old Cuban ballads, you know, and man, it was just sounded really good. And I was going along, and then this damn thunderstorm came up, like one of those, I call them purple cloud thunderstorms that you only really see in Florida. I mean, it's just like a big bruise, kind of comes up out of the glades, and it started raining like hell. Like I had never even seen it rain that hard. So I ended up pulling over, and then things started happening. Well, I was driving across the Everglades the other day, and I had the AM radio on, and I was listening to some old Havana tunes from back in the day when the Casablanca fans twirled in the thick cigar smoke at the Tropicana. And there were dark men dressed in white suits played dominoes in the shade along the Malecon. And there was an angry black cloud boiling in the western sky. And I smelled the wet dog smell of a coming rain. I seen the lightning bolts flame. I heard the whistle of the wind. I could feel its power. Heard the rumble of the thunder as my hands gripped hold of the wheel. I seen a red-tailed hawk rise from the bank of the canal that ran along the side of the road. And he circled beneath that black cloud in a picture frame of lightning bolts. And then, well, he dropped something. And then he rose like a kite without a string to the heavens above. There was a woman named Carmen de la Guerra, and she was singing a song called El Dolor y Mi Amor. And it sounded so sad, and I could feel the tremendous sense of loss that weighed on her every word. And it hit me hard, and it hit me deep. And I turned on the wipers as her tears hit my window shield. And way out here, beneath the rain of Carmen's tears, where creation seems so vast, so far away from the love we could not save, your memory floods in from my past. I don't know why I get so sentimental, but maybe that song and that hawk and that storm weren't all just coincidental. Yeah, the rain come down so hard I could hardly see. So I pulled over at the reservation and I parked the car beside an open thatched hut. There was an Indian woman there, sitting quietly, nursing her baby, solemn and back straight. She was watching that storm as though it were a movie. Well, I killed the motor, but the radio kept playing on. And then my mind fogged up, the rain was pounding on the hood. I knew what to do, I just didn't know I could. Then I wept like a child while Carmen kept singing her song. Way out here in the middle of nowhere, everything I buried, it's falling from the sky. And everything I fear, just like everything I held so dear, is washed away by tears from Carmen's eyes. I have no idea how much time went by before that storm passed overhead and opened up the sky to a big red sun, bright as any that I'd ever seen. It was as if I had awakened from a dream and everything had changed. And I kept hearing echoes to the words of that song that I'd heard Carmen sing. And for the first time since you left, I really realized that you were gone. Way out here, beneath the rain of Carmen's tears, where creation seems so vast and so far away from the love we could not save, your memories flooding from my past. Way out here in the middle of nowhere, everything I buried, it's falling from the sky. And everything I fear, it's like everything I held so dear, and it's washed away by tears from Carmen's eyes, Carmen's eyes. All right, well, I'm going to do one more song, and I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. I appreciate you not just supporting me right now and supporting Paddle Florida, but just the whole idea, obviously, you know, you're supporting art and you're supporting artists in these times, and gosh knows, you know, we're having a rough time, but there's 15% unemployment in this country right now. I know that every one of you in your own lives are going through struggles, and they're legion, you know. And I just don't know, you know, but we're all built to handle this. Believe it or not, we're all built to handle it, and I just wish everybody the best in finding your way, and staying safe and sane. So we're going to end tonight with a little song. I think I saw Ken and Cece there a little while ago. Ken and Cece are friends of mine that live in Jacksonville, Florida. And years ago, they had a radio show. I don't remember the radio station or the name of the show, but I had written this song. And it was before it actually came out on a record, and I was just kind of pitching it around and sending it to some places because I didn't know what else to do. And they liked the song, and they said, "Hey, if you're ever in Jacksonville, come over here and you can play the song on our radio station." Well, I just got in my car and drove over there. That meant I was in Jacksonville, and I went on their radio show. It was the first time I ever got on a radio station, and sang this song with them. This is a song I wrote, and I entered it into an actual state song contest that they had in 2006, I believe it was. And because the economy was already taking, it was into 2006, and the economy was taking this turn, and Florida was feeling it before anybody else was. As I've said before, we are the canary in the mine shaft of the nation's economy. And if you don't believe that, just look at Florida right now. Our entire economy is built on tourist dollars, and we don't have an income tax or anything like that. We just have sales tax, and people weren't coming down. And so our governor freaked out and decided we needed a state song that would encourage people, you know, people living up in Ohio and places like that, and we could play this song. And the old song was called "The Old Folks at Home," which is kind of this racist diatribe, horrible, sad song, also known as "Way Up and Down the Swanee River." And at any rate, so he wanted a new state song that talked about good stuff. And so I wrote the song, and I entered it into the contest, and I did not win. But I'm still playing the song, and because Ken and Cece had me on their radio program. Thank you again, by the way. Everybody give a big hand, please, to Pete Gallagher, Pete Winter, our studio engineer tonight, and he has been a longtime friend. If you have any of my records, Pete's fingerprints are on every record I've ever made. He's either recorded them, such as the Sarah Mack record, the Duets record. He recorded that live at the Mockingbird. We've recorded lots of songs in here. He's mixed and mastered most of my records. He's made the videos. If you've ever seen my video down here in the county, he did that video. He also did the video of me and Sarah Mack doing that song, "You're a Slave to Your Imagination." And Pete is just a huge asset in my life. And we also do the broadcast for Clay Tablets in here. Anyhow, here is Sunshine State. Thank y'all so much for tonight. In the middle of the winter, when you need a vacation, come where the sun and the sand is waiting. Right down here at the bottom of our nation, I'm talking about Florida. Yeah, come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, there's 1,000 new residents coming down every day. They're all moving in and buying up the place. They're filling in the swamps to make some more space. And man, we're starting to need it. We got snake farms and alligator wrestlers, more state executions than anywhere but Texas. Shuffleboard and wet t-shirt contestants. Man, you've gotta see it to believe it. Come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, we're #1 in lightning strikes, snake bites, alligator and shark attacks. Got 1 million illegal aliens to sack our trash, clean toilets, wash dishes, and cut the grass. I'm telling you, it's heaven. We feature 1 golf course for every man, woman, and child. We cut down the trees and you get to see for miles. Don't it seem like a place you could kick back a while? Dude, it don't get no better. And so come on down to the Sunshine State and bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, we got these federally subsidized sugar plantations that are bigger and richer than European nations. They own our politicians and hire all the Haitians. It's what you call a sweet deal. Well, everybody said it was some kind of joke when we said it ain't over till your brother counts the votes. And then 10 years later, y'all elected Rick DeSantis. It's what you call a state steal. Come on down to the Sunshine State and bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, our school system rates higher than Mississippi and Louisiana. Though we ain't up there with Arkansas and Alabama, 10% of our children wind up in the slammer, and that's gotta count for something. You see, we ain't got no state income tax, 'cause we just stick it to all the Yankee tourists to make up for that. A service-based economy's what keeps us fat. That and a lot of fried mullet. Come on down to the Sunshine State. Well, bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does.
That's not.
All right, we're going to turn it over to Bill again, our host.
Yeah, and I want to see I'm going to just kind of run through the room a little bit here and just see. I see Kelly Lane. Doesn't she look pretty tonight?
Right here.
Kelly Lane. There's Jeannie Just again. Jeff's iPad. Is that you again, Becky?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. And there is Michelle. She is here. I was hoping you'd be here. There's CC and Kathy.
Grant.
Hey, Becky. How are you? There's Victoria. Lynn Chisholm. She was there last. Oh, my gosh. We got some return people here. Joe Angel, Bob Salmon. All right. Thank you. There's my dad here. Anita.
Is that true?
We have to mute you, Bill.
Yeah, we have to mute you, Bill. We have to mute the host, Donna. I just wanted to, I don't know if anybody got any questions. Anybody wants to know about my eyeliner or about my rep record?
Okay, Grant, let's do it this way. Just take a minute. I'm going to mute everybody. Then I'm going to unmute.
Gotta mute
you.
Bill for sure.
Then, if you have a question, just the old-fashioned physical hand raising, and I can unmute you for a minute to talk to Grant. How's that? So first, I'm muting everybody.
We did this the other night. Nobody had any questions, so I don't know. Maybe
Or it doesn't have to be, if you just want to say something to Grant. If you have a
yeah,
comment.
you can make a political statement. You can talk about my eyeliner. I don't care anything.
Okay, here we go. You got them muted for a minute.
Now, we go.
Okay, now here we go. Raise your hand if you'd have something you'd like to say to Grant or Grant and everyone. Okay, I'll start with Jeff's iPad here.
Hey, Becky.
Okay, here's Jeff.
Really wants to know how Rhodey's doing.
Rhodey's doing really good. Rhodey has fully embraced the pandemic. He is at my house right now. He is enjoying this me not being on the road thing. We went skiing day before yesterday. We run. We go fishing. And we work in the garden. And then the other thing is I got some chickens, and Rhodey is, I think he thinks he's in charge of taking care of the chickens, because I can just open the door of my house and he just hauls ass back there and sits there and watches those chickens in the chicken coop. So I think Rhodey's doing fine, and I appreciate you asking.
Okay, thank you. All right. Raise your hand if you'd have something to say. Anybody else? Oh, okay. Patrick up here.
There's CC and
okay.
Ian Connors.
Okay, there you go, Patrick.
Hey, Grant, you played on the Paddle Florida trip when I was on the Swanee. What is your website?
Thank you. My website is grantpeeples.com, and my last name is spelled Peeples, grantpeeples.com, and that's where you'll find information about the Clay Tablets broadcast, which is going to be on May 19th. And everybody there?
Yep.
Yeah, we're here. Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
And,
Yep.
Okay.
here we go. Let's see. I'm going to mute you. Someone else have something they'd like to say? Okay, here goes CC. I'm going to unmute you. There
Hey,
you go.
Grant.
Hey, CC.
I wanted to say that we miss you.
Well, I miss you guys too, but I think I'm going to see you
You have
this
to leave that on so I can hear him.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
see you. I'm doing a show. Y'all are helping me with the show I'm doing
Sunday night.
For Ray Lewis, and I think y'all are kind of going to help with that, and I look forward to seeing you then. And I hope you're staying safe over there. I know you are. You have to be very careful, and
Yep.
be very careful, please.
Yep.
Everybody.
But I think the folks who are here tonight are allowed to come back on Sunday. Is that right? Is that true?
They are allowed to come back on Sunday. They would now the thing is, the way we've been marketing these shows is I have not been like telling the whole world, like that I was doing this tonight. Only the Paddle Florida people. I did one last night for Becky Abel in Lakeland, and we didn't tell the whole world. So we're just telling these just small communities, because we like the idea of people kind of knowing who they are. But anybody who wants to come on to see the show on Sunday, just write me and we will send you the invitation for it. You can just write me, grant@grantpeeples.com.
All right, I need to say, if you are a person that had your camera turned off so that all we see is your name, I won't see you raising your hand. So there is a little electronic way to do it, if you can find that. You can do that, or you can just turn your camera on, or you could mention something in the chat, like Anita, who is in the Netherlands, and it's like 3 a.m. over there. Would like to say something to Grant, so I'm going to unmute Anita.
Okay.
It's just past 2, so it's quite early. Still.
Anita, before you talk, Anita is my, when I tour in the Netherlands, Anita is my tour manager, driver, and she also allows me to sleep in her beautiful apartment. So that's how I know Anita. She also has a really great radio show that she broadcasts over there. The name just got away from me, but
Undercover.
Yeah, Undercover. Yeah, it's so good to hear.
Well, let me pitch that for a second. It's rootsparadise.com/undercover.
Okay, Roots Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say you look good and you sounded great.
Oh, thank you.
And let's get this show over to Europe as soon as we can.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
Thanks a lot, Anita.
Anita's
You're
great.
welcome.
All right.
All right, I think Michelle
Hey,
has
Michelle.
a question. No?
No, she's
Okay.
she's
Should
just
we
got
just-
that smile. Her smile looks like she's waving.
Does someone else have something they want to say? Just raise your hand or type it in the text if you're blocked out. We may be done.
Amanda Frick is back. Thank you so much for coming back tonight, Amanda. And Lynn Chisholm, Bob Salmon, Kathy Briggs, Joe Angel, Joe Angel's on. Joe is a presenter in Austin, Texas, and Joe's one of those guys. If you go to Austin, Texas, and you play in Austin, like when you play in a room in Austin, you know these, and you're listening, and the people are out there. Everybody, well, not everybody, but the real Austin music people, they all sit there with their eyes closed the whole time you're playing. And Joe is one of those. And Joe's got his own little house concert. It's out in this in Bastrop, which is kind of a very conservative area. And I asked Joe one time if I could play his house concert. He said, my people would not like you. But he is hosting me in November, and I'm fully hoping to be out there. He's hosting me in the city of Austin, and I'll be out there. And Joe also has a radio show out there. Well, I guess that's it.
All right, I think our host may want to say a few things. Looks like he's chomping peanuts now, but I'll stall a minute.
Hey, host.
But I'll let our host say something before we go.
Okay. Hey, host. Thank you again.
Hey,
Yep.
Thank you, Grant, and thanks to everyone for tuning in to this. It's been great. This was our first attempt at doing this, and I haven't had enough, and I don't know if anyone's got cigarette lighters. In the old days, if we wanted someone to do an encore, we would go like this. we would hold up. That was at outdoor concerts, but I'll bet that if there's
Bill's waiting
interest-
toilet paper.
What's that?
Not bad.
I'll bet if there's interest that Grant would play one more song.
Okay, make some noise. I'm muted.
Yeah,
you
I-
want Grant to play one more song?
Encore.
Just so y'all know, this is all part of it. We were like, okay, so then I'll say it's all over, and then Donna says, and then I'll tell you, Bill, then you can ask Grant to play an encore song. And so that's how full of shit we are. I'm gonna do. I've done a few songs tonight. I'm not really good about when I do other people's songs. The first song tonight was a Bob Dylan song. The second song I did tonight was a Todd Snyder song. I did a Carrie Elkins song, and now I'm getting ready. I'm gonna do a song that is by Carrie Elkins' husband, and I just thought it'd be kind of a good way to close up since. He wrote the song, and I came back and rewrote some of it.
Do you mean Danny Schmidt?
Danny Schmidt, thank you. I knew if I just sat here long enough, Donna would say it was Danny Schmidt. It's terrible. Here we go. This is called Company of Friends. When I die, let them judge me by my company of friends. Let them know me by the footprints that I leave here on this sand. Let them laugh at all the laughter, and let them cry at laughter's end. And when I die, let them judge me by my company of friends. And when I die, let them toast to all the things that I believe. Let them raise a glass to consciousness and not spill one drop for grief. And let the bubbles rise at midnight, and let their tongues be light as thieves. And when I die, let them judge me by my company of friends. Well, I believe in songs as weapons, and I believe in fighting fair. and I believe in hard-earned lessons. In the end, I do believe. And I believe in driving all night. And I believe in coffee black. And I believe in holding on tight. In the end, I do believe. And I believe in sleeping naked. And I believe in starting fires. And I believe some words are sacred. In the end, I do believe. And I believe in planting gardens. And I believe in pulling weeds. And I believe in slaying tyrants. In the end, I do believe. And I believe in intuition. And I believe in being wrong. And I believe in contradictions. In the end, I do believe. And I believe in living smitten. And I believe all hearts will mend. And I believe our book gets written by our company of friends. So when I die, let them judge me by my company of friends. Let them know me by the footprints that I've left here on the sand. Let them laugh at all the laughter, and let them cry at laughter's end. And when I die, let them judge me by my company of friends. Good night, everybody. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Grant.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill, for putting this on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Good to
You
see
bet.
you guys.
Good show.
Good to see all of you. Paddleflorida.org.